Okay, guys, this was a crazy day today also. It started last week, but now it's also crazy. So let's take a look at the VIX first. So VIX is up 15. We are at 36.55. And this morning at the open or before the open, VIX was by 60. This is absolutely crazy. So look at the level we are at. In 2020, the VIX was super high. This is when we had the COVID crash. The COVID crash right here, boom, the COVID crash. And then the Fed started to print a lot of money to bring this back up. But basically, this is what happened. We went on Dow Jones from 30,000 down to approximately 20,000. That's a big drop. This is when we had the VIX. At that point, VIX went as high as 84. So this morning at the open, we were not too far from that. This is absolutely crazy. This has had an impact in the stock market, of course. But what is the reason for this? What I understand is that Japan has increased its interest rate to 0.1. And they had been at 0 in 2023 and even a negative interest rates from 2022 and before. So increasing that made a lot of people that were borrowing money from Japan to invest elsewhere to get a higher interest rate. If you can borrow at 0 or -1 and then lend that money at 1% or 2% anywhere else, this is a nice trade. You are making money on the difference. So Japan raising interest rate is scary of people. So people are pulling out their money wherever they put it, and they are reimbursing some of the loans that they took with Japan. So apparently this is what is happening. It's the yen carry trade. What is the consequence of this in the market? And what should we do with our money? Should we take it out or should we buy? So first, this is the VIX going super high. Pretty much everything else has been tanking. Let's look at Tesla. We are down 4.23%, down $8.79, closed below 200, 198.88. Remember 194.35 right here? This was the point where we had the buy signal right here to catch this nice swing in Tesla. The swing is totally over. The swing is over. So if you did not sell because Tesla was going to go back up, then you have a little bit of profit left, but that's it. This is a good reason. This is why we need technical analysis. We spotted the hike in VIX. We spotted it right here, mid-July. We started seeing the VIX go higher and higher in July. This was not too much higher than what it has been on the 30th of May. But then it continued higher and higher and higher. So we started to see this here. So we knew that there was a step change. Instead of having the VIX stop at 15, it was starting to go higher and higher and higher. This is important, and look at where we are now. So we started seeing this, and we started seeing that Tesla started to make a congestion zone right here. After the move up, after the buy at 194.35, Tesla started to go zigzagging between the two lines, between 238 and 265.32. It was stabilizing. As soon as it started to fall, and before than that, if you could, as soon as it started to fall, this was an indication that what had propped Tesla's price higher was no longer in effect. Price were going lower than this congestion. This was a wake-up call to sell Tesla, to keep the profit, and let it come back down. We can still pick it back up eventually again. Now, we have a bearish channel right here. And the candle right now that is outside of it means that we are going even lower than that bearish channel. At least today, one candle does not make a trend, but this wants to go outside of our bearish channel. This is not looking pretty. So right now, should we get back into Tesla? Tesla is outside of its bullish channel. This is the bullish channel right here. We are outside of it. So, this is not looking super good. Yes, it's still above 194.35. So this part is still there. So Tesla could be zigzagging a little bit and climbing a little bit. But after a big move like this, we still have a downward channel that is in play. This is not something that we had when we bought right here. When we bought right here, our downward channel was right here, and we had recently broken outside of it. Now we are not outside of this resistance line. We are also outside of what is supposed to be a support. So yes, we are above 194.35, but in terms of the recent resistance, we are nowhere where we want to. So just stay put. The VIX is still super high. There's still a lot of instability in the market. So just be very careful before buying back. The US bonds have been falling absolutely like crazy. This is an indication of the people that are taking their money out of the US and paying back their loans in Japan. If we take a look at Japanese Nikkei index, look at this. We were going higher and higher. This was nice. This was a nice bullish move. Boom, broke outside of it. It was coming down fast. It started coming down on Thursday. Boom, boom. And today we continued our way down. Japanese yen is gaining in force because of the interest rates. Money is flowing back into Japan. And compared to the US dollar, we are seeing this big move down also. And in terms of the US dollar, this is not helping the US dollar either. Let's look at where the damage is elsewhere in terms of the stock indices. So how is the stock market as a whole behaving? Dow Jones, look at how fast it went down. Last Thursday, we had a move down to support. That was still okay. It was still okay. We were still above support. Friday, boom, broke support. This was our call to get out. And right now, this is even lower today. So this has gone down pretty fast. SPX has been showing sign of weakness starting 2 weeks ago on Wednesday. We saw it break the horizontal support at 54.97, broke that, recovered a little bit, and then boom, boom, boom. This is what happened. I had a few puts that I bought on Friday that I held over the weekend. I'm very happy with those. Made between 133% and 276% profit on those. So those worked perfectly. I switched on the 5-minute chart this morning to see when we opened. And when we opened right here after the second candle, I saw that we started to go back up. So I sold those. This was the right move. So I'm very happy with that. I'll see if I short things again. But what can be happening right now is that when we have a vertical move in the stock market, it does not last that long before we are starting to have a pullback at some point. It might still continue to go lower, but we should be expecting a pullback at some point. The pullback is going to come because contrarian people. If a stock goes super high, at some point, some people will decide to short it because they know that it cannot go higher and higher all the time. It's bound to pull back a little bit. So we always have the contrarians that are going to look at this and then buy back for a little bit of an upswing, even though we are going to go lower later. So we should be expecting that. We don't know when this is going to happen, but we should be expecting that. Okay, this was our original channel, and look at how further down we have gone. We can almost do a second lane channel right here. This is what this looks like for now. Stochastic is at 12. If we take a look at NASDAQ, same thing. This is very steep going down. So far, this downward channel is telling us pretty much exactly what is happening. We opened outside this morning and closed back into it. So we'll see what tomorrow has in store for us. Let's take a look at some important stocks. So Apple was late in this drop. On Friday, Apple was still closing higher, and Buffett sold half of his holdings in Apple. He sold, I think, 116 million shares of Apple. And even though Apple had nice earnings, when I tell you that earnings are not everything, we have a good example right here. the outlook of the market as a whole is really important. So right now, look at this perfection right here. We had some support at 197.46. I just did not drew that today. This was drawn for a long time. Boom, we are stopping there. Are we going to go through? It's possible, but at least that number is being taken into consideration. This is confirming that our line that we had is a valid line. Amazon, we were into this congestion zone. This is absolutely falling. We are back into this big bullish channel support. That's a big pullback. If we want to call it a pullback, we can call it a pullback because this is a bullish channel. And we were, as I said, this was the rate of ascent of Amazon. This was the supposed rate of ascent since 2023. This is the speed it was going higher. Then it got overexcited. When something gets overexcited outside of its original bullish channel, be careful. You can take that nice swing. This is a nice swing, but sell it at some point when the swing stops because the stock is going to come back into a regular scheduled program. And this is what Amazon has been doing. AMD, we are still above our double support right here. Again, the earnings were pretty good. And, this is going nowhere for now because of the whole market. Adobe weakening a little bit, lost 527.56. So we are outside of our bullish channel. Nice green candle, but we still close lower than where we were last Friday. So when I tell you about the contrarian move that we see, this is the contrarian move that we had today. If we go on the 1 hour chart, it opened quite low and we had a move up, but this move up is not higher than where we were on Friday. We can consider this a pullback. Google outside of its bullish channel also. Microsoft outside of its congestion zone, so it's no longer going sideways. I'm going to give it a chance right here. This is the only chance I'm going to give it. After that, it's gone. Meta still within its congestion zone in terms of the earnings. Earnings were pretty good last week. It didn't help. So NVIDIA still above 97.13. So that number is important. We found that number because this is where we stopped in the past. So where we stop in the past is also, most of the time, is also going to be where we are going to stop when we come back down. So we are still stopping on that for now. Palantir back into its congestion zone. SMCI last 672. Earnings is going to be tomorrow. SoFi is still above 615. Let's take a look at our EV stocks. So BYD below 28.16. So we are back into the original congestion zone. Okay, Lucid, in terms of earnings, a negative 24% surprise. So negative 24% surprise. I think they are ramping up their Gravity SUV. So maybe they are investing a little bit more money. Made a little bit more revenue, 200 million. That's better than expected. But, dropping, we are still above 275. It's not the time to buy yet anyway. Neo Battery Material, nothing to do here. Neo, Novonix dropping. Xpeng dropping. Rivian open quite low. We have the earnings tomorrow. So we are pretty much right smack on 1459. This is trying to hold. Novomont Graphite dropping like crazy. Nikola Mining, look at this, above 34 cents. So 34 cents is still in play. Bitcoin minus 7%. XRP minus 6%. Let's look at gold. Gold, as explained, gold is close to its resistance. The next week is going to be down. This is what it's doing. And silver weakening even more, lost 973, which we had last Friday. This is now gone. If you want to learn how to draw these lines in order to guide your investing and trading decision, I have a trend lines intensive that is coming. You can click on the link below in the description to get more information. in this intensive, this is going to last for 4 weeks. We are going to meet once a week. I'm going to show you how to draw those lines. And also you can be part of a special community where you can draw your own lines on the stocks that you love. You can send them to me and I will correct them and send them back to you. So take a look at this. This course is not cheap, but as you can see, we can lose thousands in the stock market in one day. So see this course as an investment. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.